Hi guys, today I decided to do something different. So if you're looking for an ASMR video, you can find those on my channel. Today I decided to share with you my experience with skin biopsy and bone marrow biopsy in aspiration. The thing is, when you're told that you have to do those procedures, you are scared, worried, you do not know what to expect, and so on. And when I was looking for those information, I couldn't find a lot of it. So I think there's not a lot of information out there, and I wanted to share with you this, so I hope it helps you in some way. Let's start with skin biopsy. I had 2 skin biopsies in my life. One was done here a few years back, and this wound healed very beautifully, minimal scarring, no discoloration, you can barely see it, it looks good. The other one I had on my leg, it was done 6-7 months ago, and it's still healing. So you can see it's a long process, because even though it's a narrow wound, it's still deep wound. Even though there's already a new layer of skin on top of the wound, you can still see discoloration under it. So it's normal that it heals longer than regular wounds that are only on the surface of the skin. The procedure itself, it's fast, 10-15 minutes. It's not painful at all, because they inject you some substance that actually numbs your tissue. So you don't feel any pain. You feel gentle touch, but you don't feel when they grab the skin, when they cut it, nothing at all. So do not worry about that. After the procedure, they put in 2 or 3 stitches. You have to take them out after 2 weeks. And they tell you to take some painkillers if the pain is gonna be bad. But actually, I have to tell you, I felt no pain after the procedure at all whatsoever. Even though you would expect after a few hours, when those substance from injection is dissolved, it's gone, that you would get some pain, but nothing at all. Actually, at some point, I forgot that I have a wound, because it was totally unpainful. So don't be scared. It's nothing to be worried about. What's interesting is that old school doctors and nurses are told that you have to keep the wound dry for several days. But my doctor, she's a bit younger, and she follows a new research, and she told me that you have to wet the skin already the first day, because it helps to heal faster and more beautiful. So I was told that I have to pour water, fresh, clean water, over my wound for maximum 5 minutes every day. Already the first day, of course, you have to be gentle, no rubbing, no strong current, just gentle. And that's it, mostly about skin biopsy. If you have any questions, you can leave them in comments. I will be very happy to answer them. So yeah, skin biopsy, nothing to be worried about. A little bit more painful is bone marrow biopsy and aspiration. You have to lay on your side and crawl into a fetus position. The thing is that they also inject you something to numb the tissue, so you don't feel that much pain when they rupture the skin and the bone. You can still feel it, but it's not painful, it's just uncomfortable. And when they are in the bone, you can feel the needle or something moving around your bone, up and down, and that's the most strange, weird, and uncomfortable experience ever, but it's not long lasting, so that's good. The most painful part is when they suck your bone marrow out. You can actually feel them pulling it out, so that's painful, but it's not unbearable. If you had this procedure, gastro something, when they go into your stomach with a tube and a camera. That procedure was way worse for me, way worse. So if you survive that, believe me, you can survive a bone marrow biopsy for sure. So after they do what I described, they pull the needle out and they stick in the new one. Of course, they stick the new one in the same hole so they do not rupture everything again. But something comes into your bone again and you can still feel it, and you can again feel something pulling out your bone marrow. It's actually a bit more painful than the first procedure. The difference is, I think, that in first they pull out the liquid part, and in the second part they pull out the more hard part of bone marrow. So yeah, this was painful, but nothing unbearable. So you don't have to be afraid. And you know, it is worth it at the end, because you get a lot of information out of this procedure, out of this research that they do on your bone marrow. So it is worth it, and it's not long. It takes 25 minutes, let's say. After that, they put a bandage on your wound. It's a very small wound, just a little hole, and they sent you home. I had to stay there for 10-15 minutes because my bleeding wouldn't stop and they had to check it. But after that, you get home. And when I got home, I must say it was seriously painful. Everybody was scaring me about the procedure itself, but no one told me that when this substance that numbs your tissue is gone, it's no longer working, it actually gets very painful. I couldn't sit, I couldn't lay down, I couldn't walk, I couldn't do anything. I didn't know what to do. So painkillers did help, of course, and this unbearable pain lasted for quite some time, I would say, for a week. After that, it was getting better and better, but after a month, yes, it's been a month since I had this procedure done, and it's still painful. It's not painful on everyday basis while I'm sitting, walking, and that kind of stuff, but if I do a certain move, let's say I stretch to grab something or something like that, I can still feel a little bit of pain behind there. I also feel like there's a hard mass out there, you know, back there on the wound, like the tissue there is not normal, like it's very hard, like a rock. So, but it's getting better. It's getting better with every day. So again, nothing to be worried about, because you can take painkillers. I refused to take them. I only took them on the first day, and after that I was like, I can handle it by myself, and it was my fault. I had to take it up. So with painkillers, it's totally bearable, so do not be worried. You have to keep your wound dry for 2 or 3 days. The first time I took the bandage off, it was the second day, I think. It was a pretty big hole. I was like, oh, what's that? I was scared for real. But the next day, after I put on the new bandage, the next day the hole was a lot smaller. Now you can only see a little dot where there was a hole, so it heals well. But again, it's a very deep wound, so it takes some time to heal. And that's it, guys. I hope it didn't scare you. My point was to relax you, to calm you down. It's nothing to be worried about. Those are very fast procedures. I think we experienced some more painful stuff in our lives, so If others can do it, you can do it too. I believe you can do it, so trust me, it's not that bad.